In this tutorial, you're going to learn about the basics of recording and mixing solid bass guitar tracks. When recording, the bassist must be able to hear or monitor themselves through a basic recording chain. So set your audio interface's buffer size as low as it'll go without glitching. This minimizes the time between striking the strings and hearing the note coming back through the speakers and headphones, known as latency. Low latency is essential to achieving tight recordings. Adjust the input gain to get around 6 dB of headroom on the loudest parts, ensuring a healthy signal level without clipping. On the track you're recording to, enable the monitor option and add a bass amp simulation plugin so the bassist hears an inspiring amped tone. We're using Softtube's WT800 for UAD. An alternative approach is to use an audio interface with low latency monitoring and effects built in, such as Universal Audio's Apollo series. In this case, you can disable the monitoring in the DAW and use any buffer size you like, because the monitored signal does not pass through the DAW, but through the interface's virtual mixer instead. Now is the time to make test recordings of pickup combinations and right-hand plucking techniques to discover which fits your track. Here's a comparison of 3 pickup settings. If you're not able to get the sound you want from your equipment, it could be down to the way the strings are being plucked. This makes a big difference to the tone. Here's the same riff played with 6 different techniques. If you're using a virtual bass solution, you might think that this step doesn't apply, but many feature playing articulations and switchable gear setups. For example, IK Multimedia's Modo Bass physically modelled bass guitar lets you experiment extensively with playing styles, hand position, strings, and pickup types. Once you've recorded or programmed your bass parts, you can dial in the virtual amp settings. Increase the gain for more growl, and use built-in compression to even out volume variations. Speaker cabinets and mic setup have a huge impact on the tone and should ideally be decided upon before using the EQ controls, which should be used to balance the sound as appropriate for the genre. For example, to get a tone suitable for dub, you'd roll the treble right off and turn up the bass. For mixing, place an EQ plugin after the amp sim. First of all, use high Q cuts to tame resonances such as overly boomy bass frequencies or high-pitched metallic ringing. Also, try cutting the kick's main frequency from the bass to sit the kick and bass together. For general tone shaping, cut or boost at 80 to 100 Hz for weight, (300 to 500 Hz for muddiness), (800 to 1000 Hz for clarity), and 2 to 3 kHz for attack. Next, add a compressor with a strong ratio of 4:1 or more. Moderately fast attack and release times, and 3 dB of gain reduction as a starting point. Use optical compression to retain low-end fatness. FET compression for grit and fast level control. And VCA compression for punchy aggression.